This week, I decided to be laser focused only on the Nasdaq. So here I am going to explain the strategy that I use, and it is not rocket science. It is actually very simple. And I want every time you see a setup that presents itself that looks exactly like this, I want you to apply everything that I'll teach you in this video so you can see better and more consistent results in your trading. So let's dive straight into it. So as you can see here, I initially shared this analysis in my free signal group. If you're not in it, the link is in the description below. Make sure to click that link and check it out so that you don't miss out on these lit setups that I send in that group. So I had someone come up to me and ask, how did you know that the price was going to go back down to this level? Because you can clearly see the setup is right here, and I'm saying that Nasdaq has to drop back to this point of interest before we start looking for buying opportunities. So they're like, how did you know that we have to buy when price gets back? How do you even know the price is going to go back there? And how do you know that it's going to go back up to the top when it gets to this position? And that's exactly what I want to explain right now, because honestly, it's just called a strategy. And let's be clear, I didn't know that the price was going to go back to that level. Nobody does. But my strategy was stating that I can only buy the Nasdaq when the market comes back into this specific area, this particular level, this zone. So let me be absolutely clear about something there. Trading is all about probabilities. It's not about certainties. You can never be certain that this is what the price is actually going to do. You never know what the market will do next. What you can do is to set up a framework, a set of rules that give you an edge in the market, that if you see this, if you see that, you're going to do this. In my case, my strategy identified a potential area of value. I didn't know the price would reach that, but I wanted to see what would happen if the price actually does. My strategy gave me a clear plan. It told me if the price comes here, this is what you want to do. It wasn't about predicting the future. It was about being prepared for a potential opportunity that, it happens. Sometimes I can even share a setup in the group, and then, the price never gets to that point of interest. It just decides to go back up to the top. So in this case, it actually then came, when the price did reach that zone, we were absolutely ready. We went in for the trade. So let's break this down, right? It's really simple. But if you're new, finding the channel for the first time, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back here. You know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Now, what is this area that I am looking at? You see, on Monday and Tuesday, because of the tariffs, we had the market dropping down. You watched the previous video, right? A big sell-off that we talked about then. Now, when the market drops like that, right, you want to catch the bounce back up, because we are in an overall uptrend in the market, and I am trading using technical analysis. I'm not using fundamental analysis. This is just the technical. So you see this initial push up here. That's where the buyers have stepped into the market. They're saying that the price is too low at this spot. And then you can see a big bullish candle just stepping in. The sellers did try to push the price a little bit, but then the buyers were not giving them a chance. They kept pushing it right up to the top. So this is what you always want to notice in the market. You want to first see a big sell-off, or where the market is selling off on whatever time frame, whatever chart you are trading of your choice. And then now see a point where the buyers eventually step into the market, and then they push the market with such great momentum where the sellers are not even given any chance to even say, let's talk about this, right? The buyer just push the market up to the top. So what you want to do now, you should understand that we have market makers that want to always make the price fair in the market, right? So they always want to come back and retest the levels that the buyers, they always want to come back and retest those sweet levels that I'm talking about, to see if the sellers can still take control, to more like give them a chance, And I was waiting for that test, right? I wanted to see if the sellers had any, momentum left. And what happened, right? They really tried, but they failed to keep pushing the price low. When the price came back, the buyers stepped in, pushing it up to the top. The sellers dropped the price with this week right here, showing that, yeah, they're stepping in, but the buyers rejected the sellers straight up, and they pushed it up again. The sellers really tried to take the market, but again and again the buyers said no, we are now in charge. And you can just see the bullish engulfing candle that then came, and the market just kept pushing up. So that was already our confirmation that the trade has been confirmed, is going to keep pushing up to the top. But I already knew that sweet spot where we entered, because I knew that the price is going to come here and the buyers and the sellers are going to have a little bit of a conflict. But I was more in favor of the buyers because the overall trend is a bullish trend. We are already in the trade. Remember, I did share it with the group, and here we were up 70 pips and holding. I wanted to show this with you guys, how we actually through the trade. But then let's just switch the gears a little bit so I can give you more confirmation. You can look at the same thing on US30. Now, on US30, remember that losing trade we had before the tariffs dropped on Monday, right? Before the market decided to take a nose dive. Yes, we're not dwelling on that for today. We learn, we move. But then look at this setup right here. Is it not something that's very familiar, right? You can see this area, the buyers are stepping in after a crazy drop. They're saying that the price is too cheap, right? We are buying. You can see the initial push up where the buyers have stepped into the market. After the sellers were flexing their muscles, the buyers are now, no, sellers, it's time to stop. We want to step in also in this market. And then they just push the price with just a, big bullish momentum push. When you see that initial push, that's the signal right there. The buyers are ready. You want to know that when they come back to retest the levels to see if they can, keep pushing it up, see if they can give the sellers a chance, and then you want to buy at those spots, right? So what we're saying is they pushed the prices up, and the sellers, they hadn't gotten a chance, so the price had to come back down to retest the levels to see if the sellers would want to counter attack, if you want to call it that. And you can see that push that we had, that was what creates our points of interest, and that is where they're going to be battling to see who has more power at what level. And just like on Nasdaq, you can see on US30, when the market came back to retest that level to see who is actually in control, the buyers came steaming right back, and they weren't having any of that selling pressure keep pushing the price lower. Just from a technical point of view, right? They said this is our trade, and you can see that we are also in this trade in the inner circle, and we're already up 107 pips. But then the action didn't just stop there, because you can see the momentum is crazy, and just 2 minutes later we're already up 140 pips, right? And obviously I won't leave the free group hanging. I have to give them an update. Everyone is in profit, right? We are now moving stop loss to break even. Obviously you have to lock in the gains, and you're aiming for obviously higher take profit levels. But in this case, when the market is uncertain like this, you have to always take what the market gives. And I'm actually confident in this trade. I know that it does have legs to move. We're actually aiming for the take profit. We might see that getting hit, but let's just take a quick look at another trade that I'm having, a little inside peek into another trade. Let's talk about Platinum. I like to show you guys my running trades. I'm having a swing trade on Platinum that's currently open right now, and I had a sell that I just recently closed that all of you saw in the previous video. The market had broken the trend line, and then I was trailing my stop loss. I was up 1,200 pips, and then it eventually hit my stop loss. It was such a lovely trade. I did share all of the details of that trade in the previous video. But then now notice it is breaking above the trend line, and the buyers are stepping in again, and I am long currently on Platinum, right? I am looking to ride this wave. Remember the last trade, I held it for over 21 days, the last Platinum trade, and I'm in for the long run on these trades, because I like to swing on Platinum, on crude oil, and those type of things, right? So they're not one of those trades that I always talk about in my day-to-day videos, but Nasdaq I always trade it on a day-to-day basis. This one I'm looking to hold it for the long run. But we're actually waiting for another clear trend line to form to give us guidance. We are going to be patient and very disciplined here. I really don't see another trend line that I want to look at to say if the market eventually breaks that trend line, I'll be out of the trade. Right on, I'm just looking at this one as it is just still playing around at break even, so nothing too crazy on Platinum. I just thought to share this trade with you guys. But back to Nasdaq. Fast forward to 1 hour 30 minutes later, guys, and there is the momentum we have all been waiting for. Nasdaq has broken through this level and it has smashed our take profit for over 250 pips for the inner circle. A beautiful textbook trade. Remember the setup? That was the power of a simple, effective strategy that I just explained for you guys. Let's look at US30. You can see that it is following the exact same thing. It looks like it might even push higher. The momentum is really crazy, but we are going to secure profits here because, you know, we are trading in an era of tariffs and uncertainty in the market. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me with that? It's been Tino, and I'll see you in the next lit video. Love you guys.